And we're staying with India. Your work calendar could also be changing significantly next year. How many days of work are you looking at? How many do you do at the moment? How much salary do you take home? All of this could change because the government of India is tweaking the labor laws. First, let me explain the logistics. In India, labor is a concurrent subject, which means both the central and state governments can legislate on it. These new labor codes were drafted by the centre. They cover 4 issues: wages, social security, industrial relations, and working conditions. When will they be implemented? Reports say in the next financial year, that's 2022-23. The new draft proposes some big changes. 4 of them stand out. Let's take them one by one. Change number 1, a 4-day working week. You work for 4 days and take 3 days off. Well, we've heard about this system in Japan and New Zealand, but is it possible in India? According to this new labor code, it is. But don't pop the champagne yet, because there is a big caveat. In India, the weekly working time is 48 hours, and that remains unchanged. So whether you work for 5 days or 4 days, you will still have to complete those 48 hours. Well, we did the math for you. That's 12 hours a day. So next year, you could have a big choice to make. Do you work 3 hours extra for 4 days, or do you keep working 9 hours for 5 days? Doesn't sound so appealing, does it? The idea of a 4-day week is to improve work-life balance, to give you more time with family, to let you go out or catch a movie or whatever it is that you want to do. But with this schedule, that's tough. You spent 12 hours in office, you spent 8 hours sleeping, add some time for transport, and what are you left with? Barely 3 hours of free time. That's simply not enough. So chances are people will not be rushing to take the 4-day offer. Nonetheless, it's a move in the right direction. Only a handful of countries offer 4-day weeks, and even fewer countries offer it with 9 hours. Here's a list of countries that have trialed it: Iceland, Ireland, Scotland, Japan, New Zealand, and the UAE. So the thought process is right, but the outcome perhaps needs refinement. Change number 2 will affect your pay. Your take-home salary could be coming down. I know it's a dampener, but let me explain how this works. The new labor codes say your basic salary must be at least 50% of your total pay. So if your total income is 1 lakh, your basic pay must be at least 50,000. Right now, less than 50,000 is the norm. How does that affect your salary? More basic pay equals more contribution to the Provident Fund or PF, and more PF equals less take-home salary. Just to be clear, your company will also be contributing more to the Provident Fund. So in the long run, it may help, but less take-home pay. Change number 3, some benefits for gig workers. There are reports of a new minimum wage plus social security nets for informal workers. Change number 4, a boost for ease of doing business. Firms with 300 employees can implement closures or layoffs without getting government permission. Right now, that limit is 100 employees. This move will incentivize entrepreneurs to begin new businesses. Now, you may have differing opinions on these new rules. You may like some of them. You may find some of it dispiriting. But here's the one thing we can say for sure. Come next year, your work culture will be changing drastically. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.